Hi everyone, and welcome to our first market rate update for 2016. Welcome back, Rob.
Yeah, thanks Aaron. Well, definitely welcome back. School's back and traffic's bad again.
Yeah, true. RBA's back too. What happened today? Tell us about the decision.
They are back and not too many surprises there. They decided to hold the cash rate.
Yeah, pretty much as expected, right? Mm-hmm. So, but there's been a lot happening in the markets, in the headlines at least, and probably the financial markets. Can you give us a bit of insight there?
Yeah, look, definitely. I mean, it's possibly been one of the worst starts to the year on record for the share market in Australia and overseas, and obviously there's a lot going on there. Bad headlines. So the memories of the GFC are sort of coming back for quite a few when they read the press.
Yeah, right. Is it that bad? Like I read them too, but I'm thinking, is it really that bad?
Look, I mean, it is probably the markets, reacting in an emotional reaction to some of the important news out there, but really when you sort of step back and think, well, what's really fundamentally changed? And I look at the path of the US economy. Growth there is pretty strong and stable. Europe is certainly stabilizing. There's some better news out of Japan. The real concerns are around China, and growth there is certainly moderating, and how that will play out is certainly a cause of concern, and that's going to have big impacts on Australia. But Australia is doing okay. But really, all this translates to sort of market volatility and markets doing what they do, and sort of we probably will start to see more of that now that the easy money that the market's been used to over 5 years is now started to turn off.
Yeah, sure. And how about we bring it back locally now? Property market's been in boom time in Sydney, at least anyway, for the past 18 months and before that. What do you think the outlook is? What's your take?
Look, I mean, I think definitely the regulatory changes that went through in terms of banks and the capital they need to hold is having a flow-on effect to the property market. I mean, you must be seeing that on the ground yourself. Yeah,
absolutely. It's a little hard to tell this early in the year as to what's going to happen. It's a normal start to the year, if I can call it that, from my point of view. Investor loans are still hard to get, but credit policy's easing. So I've had a few lenders that are talking to me about how they've changed their credit policy, and things are loosening up a little bit there. The owner-occupied market is still a lot of competition there. So, pretty much the same thing that was happening, but maybe a little bit of easing in credit policy. So that's good news.
Yeah, right. And so what do you see as the big issues in the year ahead?
Good question. I really think it comes down to confidence. I think there's a few levels of it. I think there's consumer confidence, employment confidence that always drives our side of the equation. But again, obviously, the global market volatility and share market volatility has an overall effect. So I really think that's what's going to start to drive the property market. I think we will hopefully slow down well and nice and easily.
Normalise.
But I don't know. So I'm hoping that's where it comes from, but it really comes down to that confidence factor, I think.
Oh, look, I totally agree with that. We've certainly seen the consumer confidence numbers drop in the early part of this year, and there's definitely a link to what people are reading in the press around that confidence.
Sure.
The RBA will be looking at employment as to whether they see the need to cut again. But I agree, confidence is really, really important, not only here in Australia but around the world. And look, I think this year is going to be a big year for Australia. We've got an election. There's a lot of speculation around potential changes to the tax system. And look, we know that both sides of politics are looking at changes to the superannuation system. So, that is a given. There are going to be changes to superannuation. They're looking at transition to retirement pensions. They're looking at contributions. So that's going to have a real effect on people and what transpires. And I think it does start from the May budget this year and then into the next election. So there's certain things that we're looking at for clients in the months ahead.
Yeah, sure. So overall, there's probably a big year ahead. So look, anyway, that's our market rate update for February 2016. We'll see you again next month.